Hi Yins, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. It is Wednesday, August 1st, 2018. Hope you're all doing well and having a great week. I am back for my stitching update. Not much to show you. Haven't been stitching much. Haven't been crafting much at all, to be honest with you. I just have not felt like doing a whole lot. And I think the weather has a lot to do with that. So anyways, let's get right into that. Last Wednesday and Thursday, I did not do any stitching at all because after I got done with my video, I had to do some editing. And then I think I went to bed early. And then Thursday, I had a banquet for work I had to go to. So I did not get home until super late. And I went right to bed. So Friday was the first bit of stitching I did, and I worked on By the Bay, 13th Colony, part 1. Remember, I am doing these as an entire set, so a panoramic view. I am stitching this on 46 count XJU Designs Rocky Mountain. So here is my progress. And I am very pleased with how that is looking so far. So I have everything except for the two clouds here and here on this side. Everything this side of the tree is done except for these two clouds. And then I can move on to the rest of the pattern. So almost half of the pattern is complete. So next time I pick this up, I am going to go ahead and do the clouds. I will do the two clouds here. There's two more clouds over here. And then I will go ahead and finish up the side of the pattern with the ship. And then part 1 will be done. So this is actually a fairly quick stitch for me on 46 count. So again, that's 46 count, one thread over 2, 1 over 2. I know I had lots of, I've been getting some questions as far as for me to answer some definitions or to define some terms. So I am looking into a way that I can do that in a very clear and concise way. So when I figure that out, I will start to do that. But in as best a way that I can do that to make it clear and knowledgeable for everybody. Just to show everyone my back, because why not? There is the back to my piece. I think I'm doing a pretty good job at keeping it fairly neat. But again, it's fairly solid block stitching, so not too hard to keep it clean. I will have to cut off a few of these straggly ends just because the fabric is so light and I don't want it to shine through whenever I go to frame. So again, very, very pleased with that. Looking very nice. Okay, and I am storing that in my very first Evertote bag that I purchased from Caroline. So that is in my Evertote bag. I am keeping everything organized, so you'll just have to bear with me as I store everything away. Not that there's much left to show you. And then after that, so I worked on that through through Saturday, and then Sunday was High Tea Sunday, and since I have been very unmotivated to do much, I had the urge to start a new start. And if you are on the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group, you would have already seen a little bit of this. But you would at least know what I went ahead and started. Did I start a small start? No. Of course not. I had to go and start a mammoth Abras Art Fairy Tale Town. Now, I've had this in my collection for well over a year now. I think I bought this last May from so-and-so whenever they were having a clearance event. So I got this for a pretty good deal. I have this in my Cheryl from Tranquil Stitches project bag that she gave me, that I showed last week in my video. Will it stay in this project bag? Probably not. I have something else planned for this project bag. I'm waiting for another project bag to come in the mail, and then I'll switch it out, because you can see there's a lot of floss that goes with this project. Okay, so a little background information. This originally is kitted up for 14 count Ada that came with the kit. I didn't want it to be that big because the stitch count on this is 897 wide by 150 tall. So it would have been like massive. I mean, it's still going to be massive, but I didn't want to use 14 count. So I went ahead and ordered a piece of 40 count Verdal even weave from so-and-so, because it's the only place I could find it. And I had to order an entire yard in order for this to fit on. So what I wanted, I went ahead and cut that piece of even weave, that yard of even weave, in half longwise. So there's two long half yards that I'm stitching on one half, and then since I'm basically going to be using, hopefully, just about half of the floss, there will be another half of floss left that Caroline is then going to, I'm going to give the rest of the floss and the chart with the other half of 40 count white Verdal even weave to Caroline, and she's going to stitch it on that. So we're going to get two projects out of one kit. So here is what I have done so far. Now, I started in the bottom left-hand corner, and so right here, there we go. And now we're getting glare because I didn't take it out. So right here in this bottom, you can see a tuft of grass there, and then this yellowy colored sidewalk. So, and this is what I have done so far. And let me tell you, this is confetti. I mean, this sidewalk is pretty confetti dense. So I'm hoping that once I get this sidewalk done, it starts to move a little bit quicker. Because, I mean, not that I'm in any hurry to stitch on this, even though someone wants me to stitch on it fast so I can get it to her. But, I mean, from a distance, I think it's going to look fabulous. But this sidewalk is confetti dense. So, really loving the 40 count. I did come into a bit of a quandary whenever it came to, I didn't really look at the pattern before I decided on 40 count. And in parts of the pattern, it calls for a half stitch with 2 strands and half stitch with 1 strand. And I didn't think about the possibility of that. And so I put it out to our Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, and I got some advice, and the majority, actually I think everyone pretty much said, go with your feeling, and they mainly suggested doing one strand half cross for everything. And actually there is some half cross in the, it's not in the sidewalk, and it actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to go with that was supposed to be 2 strands. So I'm going to go with 1 strand for everything. It was mainly, I think, to delineate the shading of this background trees in the back here. So, yeah. But anyways, very, very pleased, very happy. That is my new start, but I'm done with this for a while. A little bit too confetti dense for me right now with the mood that I am feeling for stitching. So my plans for, I have no purchases. I have made no purchases. And my plans for the rest of this week are, I did already pre-record my Stitch With Me for Saturday. So you will see my By the Bay needle art in a slightly less finished than what this is. For that, I'm sure none of you will mind because the majority of you will be stitching. I had to go ahead and pre-record that because I have some plans for this weekend, and so I won't be able to film so close to the weekend. That being said, this upcoming week, my plans are, I think I'm going to pull out the mushrooms and work on the mushrooms for a bit. Yes, I think what I'm going to do is pull out the mushrooms, work on the mushrooms, and then maybe once I get tired of mushrooms, I might work on By the Bay some more, and then see how I'm feeling. What I'm thinking is I have a week off the end of August, and I'm thinking I'm going to pull Henry out then, so I can devote a good chunk of time to Henry, maybe get another page done, and then reevaluate how I want to do some stitching, or where I want to go with my stitching. But again, I have no set time limits or expectations for any of my stitching right now. I'm just going with the flow and enjoying it. And I hope you do the same. And don't put too much pressure on yourselves to stitch. But I appreciate all of your likes, your comments, and your subscribing. I want to thank all of you for continuing to come back, for coming back to my channel. And I will see you on the next episode. And don't forget to always be creative.